throughout the league season, but in the playoffs, they're playing a different division. They're playing a different team.
Willie, it rained out here today, but it's not raining right now. What's the field like where you are?
It feels good. It's drained very well. Of course, that would be to the advantage of a running team like Schur High School, but Los Alamitos, as you know, likes to run the ball too. That would basically take away the aerial attack, but in this game, I don't expect to see the ball in the air just too much.
One last question, Willie. Los Alamitos has a great quarterback in Todd Gregnano, and they can come from behind. Will the Spartans still have that same ability to come from behind to pick a win up tonight?
Well, if I think I heard you correctly, you were asking me if Schur High School were in a predicament where they were down in points, if they would be able to come back, not being a passing team as Los Alamitos is, if they would be able to come back in a game like this. Well, we've seen that happen in years past. I believe it was just last year, Linwood High School in the first round, which was a running team. Charles Levy, the quarterback for Linwood, was not a passing quarterback, and they had a tough time getting back into that game. In fact, a couple key interceptions down the stretch put the nails in the coffins for the Knights.
Well,
thanks a lot, Willie.
Thank you, Willie. We're just moments away from the opening kickoff. The teams are now getting onto the field, and we're going to kind of turn around, Len, and get ourselves ready for tonight's CIF playoff round number 2.
2 to go after this.
Okay, as you can see on the screen, we're about ready to start this football game. Back deep for the Schur Spartans, number 10, Frank Martinez, and number 80, David Hernandez. David Hernandez will be on the bottom of the screen, and Martinez will be on the top of the screen. Kicking off will be Chris Park. And here we go, Division III second round playoff. Hernandez fumbles the ball, is now sprinting to his left. There he has a lane, and Hernandez has nothing but daylight. No, he has the Chris Park, the kicker, and he brings him down over midfield, or right about midfield. An outstanding run back by Hernandez, and the special teams of Los Alamitos Griffins were out of tempo as a result of that fumble.
Denny, that run back was 46 yards, and I'll tell you, oddly enough, that was set up by the fumble. What happens is the Griffins came in and penetrated too much because there was too much time. Hernandez able to get around on the left side and made a terrific run all the way into Los Alamitos territory.
The ball is on the 48-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Spartans. And that's a handoff to Rattray, and he sweeps out to the right, and he's brought down by Brian Havens. The Spartans at quarterback, number 11, Jay Macias, the 6'1", 160-pound sophomore. They have a sophomore quarterback starter just like last year, as Los Alamitos had Todd Gregnano, the starting sophomore, as they went to the CIF finals. And now Todd Gregnano, needless to say, is a junior and the Empire League Player of the Year. Macias passes is complete to Hernandez, and Hernandez gets up to it for a first down. Bob Farrell makes the tackle.
And I'll tell you, I have no idea how Winnie Wolf missed him. It looked like he was timing the play perfectly, and that he was going to really, absolutely hit Hernandez as he caught it, and when he missed him. And as a result, Hernandez able to make a little extra yardage and might have gotten the first down. Looks like we're going to have a measurement.
For the starting offensive line of the Schur Spartans, at center, Alex Sahagan. Also, Cesar Martinez, Mike Kim, David DeLeon, and Brian Flores. This is not a big line, but it's a quick line.
That's right, Jay. They did make the first down, by the way, but talking about the size of that line, we've got 155 pounds, 200 pounds, 185, 215, that's the big guy, 195, another 215, and another 150. So these are not big, especially when you compare them to the Los Alamitos Griffins.
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball is on the 38-yard line of the Griffins. Macias is barking out the signals. He He hands off to the first man through. He goes straight ahead for a short game, brought down by Chris Park.
And that was Cesar Burgueno, who we're going to see a lot of tonight. He's one of their fine running backs. You know, Denny, you heard Willie say at the top of the show, some 2,100 yards on the ground by this team during the course of the year. They'll run and run and then run some more, but they aren't afraid to pass a little bit. So Griffins have to stay alert for that.
Burgueno and Rattray in the backfield. That's a handoff. I didn't pick out his number. It's Rattray. Burgueno. Burgueno is the leading ball carrier for the Spartans this year. He's gained 978 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's been busy.
Big play here for the Griffin defense coming up on 3rd and 6.
9 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first quarter. We're right in the very opening stages of this football game. 3rd down, 5. Macias is back to pass. Wide open is Burgueno. Burgueno has the reception, and he goes for the first down. He's brought down by Mike McEntee.
And there we had a chance to see the speed, not only of Jay Macias to get away from the rush, but also Cesar Burgueno to get away from Eric Thompson, get into the flat out there, catch the ball, and then make enough yards on his own for the first down. And I'll tell you, the Schur Spartans look real good here. An excellent special team work to have the big run back, and now already well into Griffin territory here on this first drive.
First down, 10 yards to go, ball on the 26-yard line. Macias is back to pass. Winnie Wolf breaks up the pass. It was intended for the left end.
That's David Hernandez. And that time Winnie just able to get a hand in there and knock that ball down. Excellent play by Winnie Wolf. Winnie, a senior, has just done great all year long. And I believe that he even has Empire League, some kind of Empire League honors, doesn't he, Dan?
Winnie Wolf?
Yes.
He is the defensive back of the league, of the year. Defensive back of the year for the Empire League. Macias is back to pass. Looking for Hernandez. He overthrows Hernandez, who had also a shot at it, was David Hobb. So that's now 3rd down, 10 yards to go, ball still on the 26-yard line. On defense for the Los Alamitos Griffins, you have number 67, Sean Cronin. Number 53, Tim Householder. Number 43, Hart Brown. That's your front line of the Los Alamitos Griffins, the demons of defense. On the linebackers or the defensive ends, you have Chris Park, Eric Thompson, Brian Havens, and Cot Delano.
Big 3rd and 10 coming up here, Denny. Big 3rd and 10.
Macias is back to pass. His pocket is breaking down. It is sacked in the backfield by Hartwell Brown.
Huge play by Hart Brown to get in there and bring Macias down for a loss. And I'll tell you now, the Schur Spartans have an interesting decision that they have to make here. They've got the ball at the 30-yard line. It would be about a 48-yard field goal, I think, for most high school players. You see Hart Brown there did a great job coming through for the Griffins there. The Spartans are going to go for it, Denny. They're going for it on 4th down.
4th down, 15 yards to go. Spartans are going for it. This is a very big play of the opening of the game. That happens to be Burgueno going straight ahead. Brian Havens comes up and makes the stop. The ball is turned over. Oh my, what an interesting call by the coach of the Schur Spartans.
Well, I'll tell you, they passed there, really kind of a surprise, but then on 4th and 15 tried the draw play, and while it made a few yards, it was clearly not enough, and the Griffins dodge the bullet and take the ball over.
Todd Gregnano, hands off, and that's Eric Caesar swinging out to the left, and he goes for the first down. Eric Caesar.
Great run there by Eric Caesar over his left side for 10 yards, able to swing it out, made a very nice gain there, and the Griffins already have the ball out to the 35-yard line, getting a big lift.
7 minutes and 50 seconds left in this first quarter, and that is that Caesar again, straight ahead, going up for around 4 yards. Second down, 5 yards to go. A backfield of Stewart and Caesar, and that is a pass to Moninger. Moninger breaks a tackle, and he goes, it looks like he might have gone over the 50-yard line or right about the 50-yard line. That'll be good for a first down.
Well, anybody who plays against the Griffins and who scouts the Griffins knows that that play is in the Griffin playbook. It is a quick drop back by Todd Gragnano. Ron Moninger takes the ball only about a yard or two from the line of scrimmage and then tries to break away, and he managed to get enough there for the first down, and the Griffins all the way up to midfield.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is on the 49-yard line of the Griffins. Gragnano barking out some signals. He's back to pass. That's Moninger wide open. Moninger wide open. Moninger, touchdown, Los Alamitos. Oh my.
An absolute defensive breakdown there. Oh, look at Coach Barnes. He's pretty happy, although I guess he's not showing it a lot right now. Dennis, that was a 50-yard pass from Gragnano to Ron Moninger. What happened there, Jesse Ramirez was the man covering. He was in a zone defense, so when Moninger cut into the post, Ramirez did not go with him. We're going to have a chance to see that again after the extra point here, I'm sure.
Well, Coach Barnes knew he was up against a very quick team, and he knew he had to strike early and fast, and that's exactly what has happened. Los Alamitos has put the first points on the board with 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in this first quarter. The extra point is up, and it's good. So Los Alamitos takes the early lead with a 50-yard pass from Todd Gragnano to Ron Moninger, and they open up with a 7-0 lead over the Schur Spartans.
And that was a 4-play, 76-yard drive. It took only 1 minute and 12 seconds off the clock.
I'm Denny Siegel along with Len Venger, our spotter, Louis Guzman. We have 3 statisticians tonight. We're blessed. Brian Henderson, Jeff Pollard, and Sal Avina, and we hope to be able to give you as much information about tonight's game. Let's take a look at that outstanding touchdown play.
Now here's number 45, you see, guarding Moninger. Moninger goes into the middle. Look, oh my. Number 80, Hernandez, lost Moninger there, got a little confused. Moninger got the ball at the post, went right down the middle, was never touched.
Hernandez and Martinez are back again to get the ensuing kickoff by Chris Park. Park approaches the ball. It is a high end-over-end kick. Hernandez camps on the 7-yard line.
Fake reverse.
The fake reverse. It's Martinez, rather. And Martinez, this time there is no breakdown in the special teams, and he is brought down by Winston Wolf.
And it's inside the 20-yard line, so excellent special team play there by the Griffins. That was only a 12-yard run back. You know, those fake reverses, Dan, I'll tell you, I think they don't work about 99% of the time.
But it's all that misdirection, and that's exactly what happened on the opening kickoff. That fumble created almost a misdirection type of a situation. It gets the oncoming kickoff team out of sync. This time it didn't work. First down, 10 yards to go for the Spartans. Macias hands off to Bergueno. Bergueno is hit in the backfield by Catalano.
And Gio Catalano just held on for dear life on that one ankle there, and he spun and spun and spun, and the ball carrier finally went down for no gain. Excellent play there by Gio Catalano, who's been playing great linebacker all year long.
Second down, 10 yards to go. The ball is still on the 19-yard line. It actually looks like the 18.5-yard line, and here come the Spartans. Macias barking out the signals, and he is back to pass.
Blitz.
Eric Thompson is right after him. Eric Thompson dives for him, and he is finally brought down. I think Catalano is the one who'll be credited for the sack, but also credit Eric Thompson for getting him out of his pattern.
We had a blitz there by Eric Thompson, and then it looked like maybe a little bit of a delayed blitz by Catalano, and they were able to bring Macias down. We're going to have a chance to see that play again, and you'll see Eric Thompson break through there and really put the pressure. There's Eric coming through on the blitz, putting big pressure. Here comes Gio, and Gio Catalano got him for the sack.
So it's third down, 19 yards to go, and the momentum at this stage of the game is definitely for Los Alamitos.
And Schur so far minus 1 yard rushing, Denny, as a result of that sack.
Bergueno is the man in motion. And Macias is back to pass. His pocket breaks out. He's running straight ahead, gets a block, and he finally gets up just a little bit past the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be fourth down and 9 yards to go, and on the tackle was Chris Park.
And there's no question about it, that was a planned play. Jay Macias had no intention to pass that ball. He went back a couple of steps. It was almost like a quarterback draw. Looked for his opening, found a fairly decent hole, made good yardage, but of course not nearly enough for the first down. But at this point, Schur just trying to really get out of deep trouble. And now Jay Macias himself is going to be the punter on 4th and 8.
Back deep, Winston Wilf. The up man is Bob Farrell. It's a high kick. Winnie Wolf goes back. He picks up the ball on the 44-yard line. Sees nothing but daylight, goes straight ahead, and he gets into Schur territory. So now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Los Alamitos Griffins. There's 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first quarter, and Los Al leads 7-0.
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm just wondering where the punt coverage was for the Schur Spartans on that play.
There's a flag on the play, Len.
Denny, that was a 34-yard punt and an 18-yard return by Winnie Wolf, and nobody touched him until he completed the entire 18 yards. Now that penalty looks like it's going to be against the Schur Spartans, and I'm sure will be declined unless it occurred after the whistle.
As you can see, this is the Orange County Game of the Week. Los Alamitos holding an early lead, 7-0. Now there's a clip that's going to be against the Schur Spartans, and this is a terrible mistake made by that football team, because the momentum, as we have said, is definitely going on the Los Alamitos side, and now Los Alamitos will have first down, 10 yards to go on the 21-yard line of the Schur Spartans.
And that has had the effect of nullifying the entire punt. As a result, it was in effect no gain. Griffins in great field position.
Gregnano. Play action. Wide open is Eric Caesar. That's a first down and more. And he gets real close to the goal line. They stop him. It looks like on the 1 yard line, tackled by Aaron Kovacs of the Spartans.
Greg Izuo there tried to put pressure on Todd Gregnano, but Eric Caesar from his halfback spot, wide open in the flat, made the catch and again ran untouched almost all the way into the end zone. I guess he's on around the, 2 yard line. Or 1 yard line, in fact. And I'll tell you, the Griffins now, after just big play after big play, dominating the Schur Spartans early on.
The Griffins have Hartwell Brown and Eric Thompson in on their short yardage defense. They give it to Eric Caesar. Touchdown, Los Alamitos.
And that, the Griffins just have big size up there on that offensive line and just punched a big hole, enough easily for Eric Caesar to get through on that 1 yarder.
I was talking to Coach Barnes during the week, and he was singing the high praise of the left side of that offensive line specifically. That's Mike Reith and Cole Blossie, 2 outstanding young men. And Cole Blossie has just gotten the award of the Offensive Lineman of the Year for the Empire League. Congratulations, Cole.
And just a terrific job by all of the offensive linemen, as you see the extra point being made there. Mike Reith and Cole Blossie, just the absolute anchors of the left side of that line, and that's exactly, Denny, where Eric Caesar went for that touchdown.
So with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first quarter, Los Alamitos just dominating right now with a 14-0 lead in that last touchdown. Took 2 plays for 21 yards, only 29 seconds time of possession on that drive. and Todd Gregnano is 3 for 3 for 79 yards. And as you can see, the Orange County Game of the Week, 14-0 Los Alamitos over Schur.
Not only are the Griffins, of course, feeling good about this year, talking about the offensive line, but a lot of these offensive linemen, Denny, are going to be back next year. Jason Garrido is a junior, Byron Witten is a junior, and Joe Engelhoft is a junior. And Paul Underwood is a junior.
Back deep. Martinez and Hernandez. Martinez is the one closest to you, and Hernandez is the upper part of the screen. And Chris Park has now got the okay for the kickoff. It is a squib kick. And it is taken by Martinez. So it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for Los Alamitos. On the tackle was Amir Yates of the Griffins.
Well, the Schur Spartans had a good start in this game. They managed to, that was a 12-yard return, incidentally. They managed to have a real good return there at the beginning of the game, got great field position, made a first down, and then on that big fourth down play, were unable to do anything, and the Griffins have dominated ever since.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is on the 25-yard line. Bergueno is the man in motion, and it's a pitch to Rattray, and he gets nowhere. Gets absolutely nowhere, and he shakes hands with probably 2/3 of that Los Alamitos defense. Let's take a look at that last touchdown, which is the short yardage offense for the Los Alamitos Griffins.
And you see Eric Caesar going over that left side into the end zone, no trouble at all, going over his great linemen Cole Blasi and Mike Reith, as we talked about a few moments ago. On that last play, Brian Flores, number 74, the big tackle, was assigned to block Winnie Wolf, missed his block when he got right by him and made a great tackle, throwing the running back for a loss.
Second down, 12 yards to go for the Spartans. Macias is back to pass, and again he's being chased out of the pocket. The ball was intended for Martinez, and defending on the play was Brian Havens.
Good job there by Tim Householder and also Chris Park to get in and put pressure on Jay Macias, and he just had to throw the ball away. Had no chance at all for any kind of completion.
Los Alamitos definitely in control right now and constantly keeping the Schur Spartans in a third down situation whenever they have the football. And here we are, third down and 12 for the Schur Spartans.
And Schur only 23 yards, total yards in this game so far.
Macias is back to pass. Wide open is Hernandez, an outstanding catch by David Hernandez, and he's brought down by Bob Farrell, but they broke the seam that time,
Well,
Len.
they really did. He got behind Mike McEntee and in front of Bob Farrell, and it was a perfect throw by Jay Macias for a first down, and that is a really big lift for Schur, the Schur Spartans, as we are late into this first quarter.
There's 2 minutes and 14 seconds left of this first quarter, and it's 14-0 for Los Alamitos. And here come the Schur Spartans. Macias standing over the center. Macias again is back to pass. Macias is brought down by Giovanni Catalano. And Len, let's take a look at that last play, pass play to David Hernandez. We don't have it right now, but that last play was a 21-yard pass to David Hernandez. This was a tackle in the backfield by Catalano, so it's now second down and 15 yards for Schur.
What was really impressive about that play is Gio Catalano fell down coming in, got back up, and still got in to throw Macias for a loss in the backfield. And I'll tell you, the Schur Spartans now in another second and 16 or 17, and this isn't the first time that they've been in this situation.
Ball is on the 39-yard line. And Macias back to pass. And again, his pocket breaks down, and it's Chris Park puts the hit on him. And Len, what's also very impressive, there's a whole slew of different players who are tackling Macias in the backfield. It is not only one man.
We have a chance to take a look at that. We'll see how many people are making a penetration there on Jay Macias. He goes back. Looks like he has time at first, but here's Chris Park coming around and bringing him down again, coming off blocks.
Third down, 24 yards to go, and the ball is on the 30-yard line. And there's no doubt Macias will be putting the ball up. He's getting good blocking this time. It is complete to Jose Salomon. But he doesn't get much more than just the line of scrimmage, and Eric Thompson and Winnie Wolf said hello.
Not a badly conceived play there by the Schur Spartans. What they did is they sent 3 men deep, flooding the left deep, and then sent the receiver down short. He got the ball, but lo and behold, 2 Griffins right there to bring him down.
So that is the end of the first quarter. Los Alamitos 14, the Schur Spartans nothing. Well, Len, right now, it's really strange the way the Spartans came out and they were smoking, absolutely smoking, and then they stalled on their first drive. They went on a 4th and 15, which was quite an astounding call, and at that point turned the ball over, and since that point in time, it's been all Los Alamitos.
The story of this game was supposed to be the size of the Griffins against the speed and quickness of the smaller Schur Spartans. Well, I'll tell you, the Griffins are not only big, but they're pretty fast out there, and they are getting by those blocks and making tremendous penetration on Jay Macias, and he really has had no chance.
Okay, let's go to JR on the field with the coaches.
I have with me right now Coach Barnes, coach of Los Alamitos High School. Well, Coach, did you think after the Kennedy loss, well, not lost, it was a 28-28 tie, did you think your team would go 10-0 and be in the quarterfinals?
No, I didn't. That was kind of a discouraging night for us, and we kind of felt like it was a loss too. And to come back, we've kind of struggled back. The next few weeks it was tough, and we've kind of continued to get a little better each week, and we're real happy to be here. I think this is a tremendous surprise for our school and our team, and a great accomplishment for our kids.
How tough was it to get ready for Schur, since you haven't ever played him before, in the regular season, and not seen him all that much?
Well, it's always hard when it's an opponent you've never seen, and we really, I think I've seen Schur on film a couple times over the year, and Coach Davis's teams are always so well coached that it's scary, and we kind of feel this is going to be a real tough ball game tonight. And everything that we have in us will take, I'm sure of that.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next I have with me the coach of Schur, Ken Davis. Welcome, Ken. Now, how tough was it to get ready for Los Alamitos, a team that you haven't seen very much of either?
Well, it wasn't tough to get ready particularly. The tough part will be when the game starts, because they've got tremendous talent everywhere. I haven't seen a team as impressive as they are in quite a while.
Well, I hear you have a real quick team and you do a lot of running. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. How about Los Al? They do a lot of passing. How are you going to defense against that, or have you worked on it this year?
Well, we're just going to try to, put pressure on him if we can. He's a good scrambler, has great quickness and mobility. Just going to try to mix up our coverages and maybe confuse him, but
okay,
that's all we can hope for.
Now, I know you didn't you go to the CIF once before, though?
To the CIF?
Finals in football? Did you ever I thought you made it there once.
Yeah, we won it in 1980.
So you've been there before?
Yeah, but we were in a different conference then. This division is, boy, this is tough.
This is a tougher division?
Oh, yeah. This is real tough.
Well, Coach, good luck to you, and may the better man win, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back up to the booth with Denny and Len.
Thank you, JR, and thank you, coaches. Starting the second quarter, it was a 23-yard punt that was a fair catch by Bob Farrell. The first play from scrimmage was a 7-yard run by Eric Caesar, and there was just a pass to Chad Milan, and that's enough for a first down, so it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Griffins.
Griffins have the ball all the way on the 32-yard line of the Schur Spartans, and Schur in real deep trouble here.
That's Joel Fisher on the quick look-in, brought down by Aaron Kovacs.
And the Griffins now just in absolute total charge of this football game. Coach Barnes has to be feeling pretty confident, of course not overconfident, since we're still very early in the second quarter. Denny, in that first quarter time of possession, Schur had the ball only... Well, wait a minute. It looks like Schur had the ball more than Los Al. I'll have to check on that.
That's Eric Caesar going over the left side of the Los Alamitos line. He goes in for a short gain.
Denny, I've got to tell you, remarkable first quarter statistic. It's almost impossible to believe, but true. Schur dominated the first quarter in time, 10 minutes and 19 seconds to Los Al's minute and 41, and yet Los Al leads 14-0.
Well, a quick striking offense for Los Alamitos. Gragnano still has the ball. It is complete. I think that's Phil DiMatteo.
Oh, it is, and a terrific play by Todd Gragnano. He was ready. He was...
10 minutes and 4 seconds left in this first half. So it'll be first down and goal for the Los Alamitos Griffins, and there you see Phil DiMatteo.
What happened, I guess we got lost there for a minute there, but what happened on that play is Gragnano hesitated the first time, then he waited till DiMatteo was open, and then threw the ball, and as a result, DiMatteo made a great catch, but he was really hit. And now, as you saw on this last play, Eric Caesar making a run over that left side, as he did earlier for the touchdown, didn't make too much yardage.
So the clock continues to run with 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in this first half. Los Alamitos ahead 14-0. The ball is on the 6-yard line, second and goal.
Griffins have that short yardage offense now in the game.
That's Caesar. Caesar going straight ahead. It gets down to around the 3-yard line, and he is tackled by Sean Rattray.
Todd Gragnano in this football game has thrown 6 times. Denny, he's completed all 6 for 119 yards. A very impressive performance by Gragnano so far. He is very sharp, and excellent running so far also by Eric Caesar.
Well, Todd Gragnano, the Empire League Player of the Year, and he's really showing his numbers tonight. Gragnano still has the ball. He dives over. It looked like a broken play, Lynn. I don't think that was a design play. He comes up short of the touchdown. The final tackle was made by David Hernandez of Schur.
Well, with the running backs that the Griffins have, it's not something that they really like to do, is have Todd Gragnano run. You saw there Todd Gragnano calling a timeout. Griffins now on a 4th down situation at about the 1 or 2 yard line. Kind of hard to tell. Denny, can you see where the ball is? It's the 1 or the 2, because it might make a difference.
Well, we're kind of up here. It looks like it's the 2 yard line. So it'll be 4th down and 2.
The 2 coaches, as you see, coming out. That must be the defensive coordinator coming out for Schur, and of course, Coach Barnes into the Griffin huddle there, talking to his players. It looks, Denny, like they're not going to go for the field goal. They're going to go for the touchdown here, and really, I think when you're ahead 14-0, that's a much easier decision to make.
Absolutely, and needless to say, if they were to make the touchdown, it opens up a very large lead for the Griffins. If they do turn over the ball, the Spartans are deep in their own territory.
About as deep as you can get.
Absolutely. And Los Alamitos has an outstanding defensive team. They've been very stingy giving up points, as you can see by the 5 shutouts that they've had this year. So Coach Barnes is very confident of that. It is a pitch to Eric Caesar going straight ahead, and I think he is denied.
Looks like he did not make it. I thought he had a second effort there and was able to get him, but no, he wasn't.
So Sean Rattray is the one, we believe, who put that hit on him, and the Los Alamitos Griffins were denied. So the Spartans take over the football, and Los Alamitos comes up empty.
Well, that's a big goal line play. Eric Caesar coming back in, and of course the Griffins a little disappointed, but the ball is on about the 1 foot line. Terrible field position for the Schur Spartans to start this drive.
Now, what's really interesting about this, Len, that they're way back, very as deep as you can get in their own territory, and the way Los Alamitos has been piercing that defensive line, or the offensive line of the Spartans. It'll be very interesting, the play calling that Schur is going to have to be able to get out of that and avert a potential safety. There's timeout on the field. The coaches are now coming out into the respective huddles. what I'd like to announce again, because I've been kind of doing it haphazardly, we just have the announcement of the Players of the Year in the Empire League, and to kind of recap, Todd Gregnano is the Empire League Player of the Year. The Offensive Lineman of the Year is Cole Blossy. The Defensive Player of the Year is Eric Thompson, and the Defensive Back of the Year is Winston Wolf. Congratulations to you guys, and needless to say, Los Alamitos being 5-0 in Empire League play, they sure dominated those stats.
Exactly as you'd expect, just as they have been dominating the Empire League the last few years, much to the dismay, I would have to say probably mostly of Esperanza, which is now almost a former power in the Empire League, and actually kind of a new guard with Catella and El Dorado, very competitive now, and really are the teams that are challenging the Griffins for domination of the Empire League.
We'll come back to that because I have a very interesting bit of information that Coach Barnes did give me. So it's first down, 10 yards to go for the Schur Spartans. It looks like, what was that, a quarterback sneak, Len? It just got a whole bunch of nothing.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I don't think Jay Macias was the one with the ball. It's a fumble, Denny!
It's a fumble! Oh, my Lord, it's a fumble, and Los Alamitos picks up the fumble. Sean Cronin is the one who got the ball from our vantage point, and we're sitting in the stands here, and we have trouble seeing exactly what happened. So there's Sean Cronin.
Fabulous play there by Sean Cronin. And I'll tell you, it looked like, at one moment there I thought it was a trick play, and Jay Macias looked like something fancy was going on. We're going to have a chance to see that again. Although the Griffins, we're going to hold that replay because the Griffins on offense.
That's Eric Caesar, and that's a touchdown, Los Alamitos.
I'd like to see that fumble again. I hope that our director, Mark Ewing, still has that fumble. Dennis.
Okay, so it's 21-0. Los Alamitos has taken, at this point, a commanding lead.
We had a little technical difficulty there, Denny, and I think that Griffin fans were unable to hear our audio a little bit. We did see a replay of the fumble. Jay Macias never did get a good snap from center, fumbled the ball right at the 1-yard line. The Griffins somehow got in the middle of that huge pile, were able to get the ball, and then Eric Caesar, of course, on that 1-yard TD right afterwards. And as you see there, the Griffins taking absolute control of the game now, 21-0 over the Schur Spartans.
Back deep for the Spartans, number 80, David Hernandez, number 10, Frank Martinez. Chris Park awaiting the okay from the referee to kick this ball off. There's 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in this first half.
You know, Denny, we keep talking about, as we see the kickoff here, about the Griffins not having the ball very long.
That's David Hernandez picking up the short kick, sweeping the left, and he gets up to close to the 30-yard line, maybe a little bit over the 30-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 for the Schur Spartans. And who was on that tackle was Mike Deckard.
This is really a strange football game in that that Griffin drive was all of 1 yard and took about 2 seconds. So the Griffins still not controlling the ball, but simply controlling the game.
7 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first half. 21-0 Los Alamitos, and controlling the score just like you say, Len. And Macia, the quarterback of the Schur Spartans, trying to get something going. He hands off to Bergueno. Bergueno is sweeping to the right, and he is brought down by Mike McEntee.
Not much there for Bergueno, and I'll tell you something, the Griffins showing at least as much speed as Schur, if not more. And I'll tell you, when you are big and fast, you are going to be better than teams that are small and fast.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, I'm becoming an absolute believer of this Los Alamitos team. They sputtered a little bit against last week's opponent, Foothill, and they're out blazing tonight, Len. They're just blazingly hot. So here comes Messia bringing out his offensive unit. The ball is on the 33-yard line, 2nd down and 7. And that is Martinez. He fumbles. Martinez fumbles, and it looks like Los Alamitos has picked up that football.
They sure do. There's no question about it. Griffin's all over that football.
We're waiting for the official. And that is Sean Cronin. Again, is that Sean Cronin who picked up the ball? That's the 2nd fumble recovery by Sean Cronin. And Eric Thompson, he's the one that forced the fumble. But Sean Cronin, he was there to pick up the garbage. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, you see Macias hands off the ball. Eric Thompson just lays him out completely, and there's Sean Cronin to pick up the football. So Los Alamitos, with 5 minutes and 55 seconds left in this first half, they again have the football. Gregnano back to pass, wide open is Di Matteo, and Di Matteo goes up for a short gain. And he's brought down by Cesar Bergueno. I want to get back to Cole Blossy, the left guard for Los Alamitos. Coach Barnes tells me that is the first time that an offensive lineman of the year has been been a player other than one from the Esperanza team.
Well, that really actually it says a lot about this domination of Los Alamitos, as we talked about a little while ago. Griffins now really have a chance to just simply put this game away. And I think that's Chris Stewart's first run of this game, isn't it, Dan?
I believe so. Chris Stewart goes over the right side, and he goes in for a strong gain. He's going to be short of the first down. It looks like he'll be around 3 yards short, so it'll be 3rd down and 3 yards for Los Alamitos.
Chad Milan comes into the game with Joel Fisher going out. Let's see. Yes, Milan and Moninger are out at the top of your screen there. Let's see if Todd Gregnano goes to them on this 3rd and 4 situation. Looks like he's calling an audible, Dan.
Gregnano. That is a complete pass, and it's a 1st down. And that's to Chad Milan. Chad Milan, the 6 foot, 160-pound junior, and he's going to be back next year. And that's a 1st down for Los Alamitos, and he was tackled by Jesse Ramirez.
That play continues to work for the Griffins. That time they sent Moninger down. Milan went down just a few yards, much shorter than Moninger, and Gregnano made a perfect throw for the 1st down.
1st down, 10. Gregnano still has the ball. He's sweeping to the left. Lofts the ball up. The ball was intended for Phil Di Matteo. He's pointing back as if Aaron Kovacs gave a little bit of a push, but the referees are not going to go along with that complaint.
Well, actually, Kovacs did give him a little push, but no chance anyway for Di Matteo to get that ball as it was way overthrown. Good pressure there on Todd Gregnano. He ran real hard and was under pressure and let the ball loose, and it was overthrown.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in this first half. Moninger split wide to the left. Milan is in the slot. Gregnano. It is complete to Chad Milan. Jesse Ramirez makes the tackle.
You know, you talk about field position being so important in a football game. Los Alamitos has started their drives on the average in Schur territory on their 43-yard line, while Schur's average starting of a drive is their own 23-yard line. And that explains why the Griffin drives don't take very much time. They just don't have a long way to go.
Well, when you're only playing half a football field, needless to say, you really have a greater chance of scoring than a team that starts their drive on the 1-yard line. That was a completed pass to Chris Stewart. So with 4 minutes and 7 seconds, Los Ala leading 21-0. We'll be right back. we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The Orange County Game of the Week. Chris Park of the Los Alamitos Griffins has just kicked a field goal for the Los Alamitos Griffins to take the lead 24-0. It was a 35-yard field goal. So it's 24-0 Los Alamitos, and there's 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in this first half.
So another score for the Griffins to make it 24-0. That ball just barely, Chris Park kicked it high and it just came down. You wondered if it would have enough, and it did. And the Griffins now totally in control of the game. And that score also set up by a turnover by the Schur Spartans. Their 2 turnovers have resulted in 10 points for the Los Alamitos Griffins so far.
There you see Jason Garrido, the center, getting a little bit of a touch-up, shall we say, on his equipment. Chris Park kicks the ball off David Hernandez, and Martinez back deep. The ball is over Martinez's head. He better touch it down, and he does, because that is a live football. So it'll be first down and 10 on the 20-yard line for Schur.
And the Schur Spartans now really have their work cut out for them. Macias has already been sacked 3 or 4 times in the game. In total rushing, the Schur Spartans are -1 yard in the game, Denny. This is a running team with over 2,100 yards this year, and they are -1 with only 3.5 minutes left in the first half.
Jay Macias, the quarterback, Burgueno, and Martinez in the backfield. Rather, Rattray in the backfield. It's a pass. It is complete. It's complete to Plantillas of Schur, and he was tackled, I believe it was by Mike McEntee.
That's right. Mike McEntee had pretty good position on him, right behind him. Good pass there by Macias to Plantillas, and McEntee able to get in there and make that tackle right away. Denny, that last Griffin drive was 18 yards in 6 plays, culminating in a 35-yard field goal. That drive took 3 minutes and 38 seconds, so the Griffins catching up on time of possession.
That's the only thing that they're behind on tonight, Lynn.
That's right.
So we're right near the 3-minute mark left in the first half, and Macias again is back to pass. Plenty of time, and there's some great coverage by Los Alamitos, and he is sacked by Chris Park.
Well, Macias had absolutely all day there to throw. Obviously a great job by the defensive backs of the Griffins to keep anyone from being open. Chris Park finally got away from his blocker, able to get in for the sack.
And there you see Chris Park, who's just got that last sack, and that is the second sack for Chris Park this afternoon, and he shares, he has 2, Catalano has 1, and Hartwell Brown has a sack. Second down and 15 yards to go for the Schur Spartans. And that's Martinez sweeping out to the left, and hello, Eric Thompson.
And the Schur Spartans find themselves in another 3rd and very long, in fact, about 3rd and 13 yards. And they are totally being dominated by this great defense of the Los Alamitos Griffins. A defense that has given up an average of under 6 points a game for the entire year, and only a field goal a game after the first game of the season. That means the last 10 games.
So there's 1 minute and 46 seconds left in this first half as the clock continues to run. 24-0 Los Al, 3rd and 13. The ball is on the 28-yard line. Macias back to pass. Again, his pocket is breaking down. He eludes tacklers. He is loose. And he's brought down, I think John Graham was in it along with Winston Wolf.
But he's 2 yards short of the first down on that 3rd down play. And with only about 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock running, it actually would not surprise me to see Schur go for the first down in this 4th and 2 or 3 situation. You see Jay Macias there. He's also the punter, so we don't yet know. And now it looks like the punting unit coming in for Schur, and they may punt. But if I were the Griffins, I'd be looking for the fake, Dan.
Well, if they were to fake it, Len, and disintegrate and not make the first down, they have just handed the Griffins less than half of a football field, so it would really put them in a hole. If Los Alamitos could go down and score, making it, let's say, 31-0, that would be really most difficult. So I would be surprised if Schur were to try for it. I think they want to get into that halftime locker room with no worse than a 24-0 deficit. Macias back to punt, back deep for the Griffins. Winston Wolf standing on his own 28-yard line. Bob Farrell standing on his 40. Macias gets the kickoff. It's an end over end. Winnie Wolf takes the ball on the 36-yard line. It has nothing but daylight. Winston Wolf breaks into the open. Winston Wolf has only one man to beat, and he is brought down on the 25-yard line by the kicker and the quarterback, Jay Macias.
Great job there by Winnie Wolf, and you see he's limping. Winnie Wolf is limping off the field. Hopefully he'll be okay, and hopefully we'll be back in the second half. A terrific job by Winnie Wolf. He got the ball on the run, went right up the middle for 38 yards on the run back.
Well, in lieu of the way that play ended, maybe they should have gone for it, because the ball actually winds up virtually where they kicked it off from.
As a matter of fact, inside of that, where is the ball, Dan? On the
ball's on the 25-yard line.
25. In fact, with 14 yards more.
That's correct.
For the Griffins on the trade-off there.
Get that off. Hey, is it on right now?
That is, I believe, Winnie Wolf's longest run back of the year on a punt. I'm pretty sure of that.
So there's 55 seconds left in this first half. 24-0 Los Alamitos. There's timeout on the field.
And I'll tell you, the Griffins have time to score again here, no question about it. They are almost in range of Chris Park right now.
John Barnes goes off the field. Los Alamitos, Greg Nano back to pass. It falls incomplete. It was intended for Ron Moninger, and there's going to be a flag. Oh, it's ruled incomplete.
Moninger thought he had the ball, Dan. That's what happened. Moninger thought he made the catch, and the referee was right on the play, right next to Moninger, said no, the ball hit the ground, and it comes back.
So second down, 10 yards to go, 46 seconds left in the first half. And into the game for the Griffins comes Chris Grimes, replacing Joel Fisher.
We got Milan way wide to the right. 3 wide receivers here for the Griffins. There you see Moninger.
Gregnano back to pass. It is complete to Moninger. Moninger takes the ball out of the defender's hand, runs in for a touchdown, Los Alamitos.
What a great catch by Ron Moninger. Frank Martinez, I'm sure, thought he'd intercepted the ball, but somehow it got through him, and Moninger, showing great concentration, looked the ball right into his hands, caught it, and went in for the touchdown. And that, Denny, here we are at the end of the first half, yet that is the ball game, no doubt about it. What a catch.
Los Alamitos getting ready for the extra point, as you saw, they now have a 30-0 lead. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good. So with 41 seconds left in this first half, Los Alamitos, just nothing but sheer domination, leads 31-0, and Ron Moninger, I'm sure, is a very steadfast, upright individual, but if he ever wanted to go sour, he could sure make it as a pickpocket.
Oh, we're going to see that play again, and you're going to see Moninger make that catch, and I don't know how Frank Martinez did not intercept it. And Gregnano's going to make a great throw here because he is under some pressure. Gregnano under center now. You saw Moninger there. He goes back, throws, and look, I'll tell you, Martinez, I know, thought he had the ball. I thought he had the ball.
It was actually Aaron Kovacs. Aaron Kovacs, number 9, was the defender. Was it right? It was Martinez?
It was Martinez.
Oh, okay.
Martinez thought he had the ball there. And Moninger, great concentration, Dan, because Martinez went right in front of him, and yet he watched the ball right into his hands. A lot of times you get screened out there and drop the ball.
So 41 seconds left in this first half, 31-0 Los Alamitos. And the Spartans are going to have another chance with the football before this half ends. It is picked up by Greg Azuo of the Spartans, and he is brought down by Jeff Blank of the Griffins. So now it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Spartans, and there's 35 seconds left in this first half.
And this first half will not end too soon for the Schur Spartans, as they are being dominated 31-0. Not just dominated, Denny, I think actually intimidated.
Well, Kenny Davis, the coach of the Spartans, is kind of a slow-talking man, but I'm sure he's going to be talking real fast at halftime. At the halftime of this game. Macias back to pass, plenty of time, and he pitches off. He pitches off to Sean Rattray.
A little ad lib there at the end of the first half.
John Graham made the tackle, and that is the gun to end the first half. Los Alamitos 31, the Schur Spartans nothing. A total domination by the Los Alamitos Griffins. And there you see, this is the Orange County game of the week. And I'm sure the second half we'll see an altogether Schur football team, because it's a quick, fast team, and I don't think they were able to get into sync after they had that first opening drive that disintegrated.
Are you trying to make this game exciting?
No, I am. I think this is a fine team. This is a team that was the champion of the Foothill League, and they're 9-2 on the year. You don't become 9-2 unless you're a good football team. They kind of hit some rough sledding, and that's a very high Los Alamitos Griffin team. So I do believe you're going to see an altogether different Spartan team the second half.
One thing that the Griffins, frankly, are worried about, I'm watching Winnie Wolf come off the field, going to the locker room. Winnie is limping, and they're going to need him for the next game, no question about it.
Okay, it's 31-0, Los Alamitos leading, and let's go on the field to our own J.R. Graham.
Thanks, Willie and Len. I have with me some of the 3 alumni guys that have been here before. Sam Harden, who played here last year. Well, what do you think about so far this night?
Well, they're kicking some butt. I don't know if the other team's going to come back or not, so far so good.
Okay, tell us what you've been doing.
Well, I'm going to Fullerton College. We're #1 in the nation. We're going for the national championship in 2 weeks in Bakersfield. We're ranked #1, and Bakersfield's ranked #2, so we're going to be going for the nationals.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Next, I have with me Jeff Platt. Jeff Platt played here last year, and now he's on a scholarship to New Mexico. How's it going in New Mexico?
It's going good. We got a good program, you know, and a couple years we'll be doing real good in the WAC.
How do you find it different from high school to college?
They're a lot bigger and stronger, you know. You got to get in the weight room and really push it.
So you're redshirting this year, am I correct?
Right.
Okay, well, good luck to you next year.
Thank you.
Next, I have with me Roger Rodstrom. Roger got a full scholarship also to New Mexico, and he got to play this year, right?
Mm-hmm. I was second team most of the year.
Second team all? I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Second team.
All right. Now, what's the difference you're finding out there on the football field?
Just the size of the players and the speed and the difference in like the athletic ability,
Okay.
I guess I should say.
It gets a little tougher out there when you get to the bigger leagues, right?
A lot tougher.
How are you finding school out there?
It's pretty hard. It's a good academic school, and it's a lot different in high school.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, and good luck to all of you boys. All right, let's go back up. All right, let's go out to the halftime festivities.
That's it. I'm history. End of the road.
You can't quit, Vince. No crash dummy takes out a utility pole like you do.
Larry, for years I've been proving how safety belts save lives, but nobody's listening.
Sure they are.
Yeah, that's why thousands die in car accidents every year. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall.
Come on, Vince. Tomorrow's the big day. 2 compacts. Head on.
High speed?
Could save a life.
No, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
You need a new direction. What to do's a question. Aim high. The Air Force, for a job that's right for you. For skills and a future you look forward to. Aim high.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Hanford Rance Stadium. The halftime score 31-0 in favor of Los Alamitos. Just before Los Alamitos scored with 41 seconds left in the first half, the score was 24-0, and it reminded me of last year's second-round game, and I think I ought to remind a few folks back home before you start putting this one into the win column. The score was pretty much the same, 24-0. Los Alamitos had a lead over Villa Park. Well, before too long in the fourth quarter, the score was 27-24 in favor of Villa Park. Los Alamitos had to battle back, and Eric Lang field goal tied things at 27. And sure enough, with just a minute left in the game, Villa Park tried a trick play from out of their own end zone. The pass from the punter was intercepted. Los Alamitos got the ball and then got the game-winning field goal to win that one 30-27. A scare after having a 24-0 lead. Well, tonight, it's a little bit bigger of a lead. Let's take a look at some of the stats with the score 31-0. First of all, in first down, Los Alamitos with a 10-4 advantage. Yards rushing, not too much for either ball club. Los Al with the lead. Yards passing, a great first half for Todd Gregnano, 166 yards. That gives Los Alamitos the edge overall, 204 yards to 56. Another key statistic was the 2 turnovers. You take a look at some of the individual statistics. Caesar with 33 yards rushing, 4 yards for Stewart. As for Schur, Bergueno and Macias are the leading rushers. Although you can see Macias, he's been good for 8 carries and negative 11 yards rushing. As for the passing statistics, Gregnano 10 of 13 for 166 yards. He has no interception, and he has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Jay Macias for sure, not a very good first half, although he has completed 5 of 7 for 50 yards. Receiving-wise, Moninger and Milan have shared the duties. Moninger has 2 touchdown receptions, and Hernandez and Plantilas have been alternating with the receiving chores for Schur High School. It gives you an idea of the first half statistics between Los Alamitos and Schur. One of the interesting stats was time of possession. Schur actually had the advantage over Los Alamitos by something like 13 minutes and something to 10 minutes and something. But Schur has the advantage there, but the advantage that counts is the scoreboard. And that's 31-0. And for Los Alamitos, it's now time to hold on to the football, run the clock, and win the ball game. Let's go back up to the booth now, Denny and Len.
Thank you, Willie. Well, Len, we're just moments away for the kickoff of the second half. Schur will be kicking off to Los Alamitos, and I believe this will be the first time that Los Alamitos will be in a kickoff return formation. Back deep will be Mike Deckard, and Los Alamitos is in a prevent kickoff return formation. They have 9 men up front within the 5-yard area. Back in midfield, so to speak, is Eric Caesar, and back deep is Mike Deckard. Coach Barnes is expecting an onside kick by the Schur Spartans. Macias kicks the ball off. It is a squib kick. It is taken by Whitney, and Whitney swings all the way to the right. And he's still on his feet, and he is finally brought down on the 40-yard line. The Schur Spartans tried to kick the ball over the heads of the 9 front Los Alamitos Griffins, and he did just that, but Whitney was able to recover the football, and he ran for the gain, so it'll be first down and 10 for Los Alamitos, the ball on the 40-yard line.
John Whitney, the backup quarterback there, did a nice job of getting 9 yards after picking up that ball and helping with good field position.
Gregnano to Milan, and Gregnano goes out. Milan goes out, knocked out of bounds by David Hernandez.
And the Griffins start where they left off, which is Gregnano on that play where he drops back a couple steps, threw the ball straight out in the flat to, there you see him, Chad Milan, for the first down. Griffins now already in Schur territory.
Chad Milan, the junior, with his 3rd catch of this evening. And that's to Eric Caesar. Eric Caesar busts a tackle, and he goes straight on through, and there's a flag on the play. So we'll find out what the officials are, who they're going to penalize.
Looks like it's going to be holding against
It'll
Griffins.
be Los Alamitos, against Los Alamitos, so they'll be marking the ball off. It'll be a hold against the Griffins.
I thought Willie made a good point there at halftime, Denny, when he talked about the Villa Park game of last year in the playoffs, where the Griffins went off to a very big lead, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter found themselves actually behind in that football game and had to make a late fourth quarter comeback for the win. On the other hand, Villa Park is a team that was used to Division III play. They're a strong team. and they were there all year long. The Schur Spartans are new to Division III, and I could be wrong about this, but I'd have to say they are pretty much outclassed by the Los Alamitos Griffins.
There's some bad news on the field. Winston Wolf is on the bench of the Los Alamitos Griffins. His knee is packed in ice, so I do not believe you will see Winston Wolf in the second half. That is a complete pass to Phil DiMatteo. He has plenty of running room, and he is brought down behind on the 20-yard line by Jesse Ramirez of the Spartans.
Good speed there, shown by Phil DiMatteo, as it looked like Jesse Ramirez was going to make that tackle much more quickly, but that burst of speed by DiMatteo, and Ramirez actually lucky to catch DiMatteo after a 38-yard gain all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Well, we're just in the opening minutes of the second half, and Los Alamitos, as you were alluding to, that Villa Park game has got to play to win, not to lose. So as a result, they have to be aggressive, and that is a handoff going straight ahead for a very, very short gain. And the clock continues to run with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and that tackle was made by Martin Garcia, the defensive tackle of the Spartans. Let's take a look at that play again. That's the pass to Phil DiMatteo. He has the ball. He is streaking down the sidelines, and Ramirez catches him from behind. So now we're back to live action. Second down and 8 yards to go. And Chad Milan is the man in motion. Gregnano still has the ball. Gregnano looking at his second receiver. He looked to Mike Deckard first, and he came back, and it was Moninger picked the ball up right off the top of the grass for a completion. So it's within, it looks like it's inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Griffins.
Well, Denny, I think you called that exactly. Todd Gregnano looked for his first receiver, saw that he wasn't open, and then went to Moninger as number 2 receiver on the play and made the first down. Gregnano now 13 for 16 for 227 yards in this game so far. Just a great, great job.
And that's Mike Deckard going straight ahead, and he gets down close to the 5-yard line, and he's tackled again by Martin Garcia.
Todd Gregnano really showing a lot of maturity now as he's able to pick out secondary receivers. It's just hard to believe that he's only a junior and that he's still going to be back for the Griffins next year.
The Schur Spartans at this point seem to be totally being dominated by the strength of Los Alamitos. Gregnano completes the pass to Ron Moninger for a touchdown. Los Alamitos strikes again.
And Aaron Kovacs just got beat on the play by Moninger. No chance at all, and we have ourselves an old-fashioned rout.
Well, as I said, we thought that we would see a different team from Schur the second half, and so far it's just an instant replay of the first half. The team is lining up for the extra point. The kick is up, and it's good. So with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter, Los Alamitos ahead 38-0, and let's take a look at that touchdown pass.
Gregnano dropping back 2 steps, quick throw into Moninger, and he beat Aaron Kovacs on the play and got into the end zone for the touchdown. Scored 38-0, but I'll tell you, this win, and it's going to be a win, is really marred by the fact of Winnie Wolf's injury. And the real big question now for the Griffins is, can Winnie Wolf come back next week? The Griffins likely to play a team that probably only has 1 loss all year in the semifinals, probably Dominguez, if they win their game tonight. And that's got to be of great concern. Winnie Wolf, an experienced senior, a great defensive back, does the punt returning, and I'll tell you, the Griffins have got to be worried about that for next week.
That last touchdown series, 60 yards on 6 plays. It took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And Moninger has 5 catches for 101 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's Hernandez. Hernandez is sweeping to the right. And oh my, the Griffins are Johnny on the spot. Nothing seems to have changed, Len. It's all Griffins.
For sure, for sure.
No, we're supposed to say, boy, that's awesome. And then you're supposed to say, for sure, for sure. A little Valley Girl stuff here.
I couldn't resist. I think that you and I...
David Hernandez, the star wide receiver of the Schur Spartans, going off the field. And at this point, that really is going to hurt the comeback attempt of the Spartans, because he has caught quite a few passes, or some passes this afternoon. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in this third quarter, and the clock continues to run. Macias pitches to Bergueno. Bergueno cuts in, and he is brought down by Chris Park and a whole slew of Griffins, and he goes for a short gain.
And on the sidelines, Dan, I see John Whitney, the backup quarterback, beginning to warm up. And it looks like the Griffins pretty quickly here are going to move to a second squad. And people like Chris Park, number 89, will probably be coming out pretty soon, taking no further chance on injuries. I don't think the Griffins will do that right away, since there's still plenty of time left in the third quarter. But it won't be too long from now.
Second down, 4 yards to go. The ball is on the 24-yard line. And Macias trying to get something happen. That's Martinez. Martinez, he goes in, not even close to the first down as of yet. And he is brought down by John Graham.
I think that win against Foothill last week, being such a close game, 6-3, and being kind of a scary game for the Griffins, really got them up for this football game. And as a result, they absolutely have dominated. Next week, I think they are really going to be up against a tough opponent, and will not be able to look ahead to Mission Viejo, the team that most likely will make the finals in the upper bracket. You see John Whitney there warming up to get ready to go in the game pretty soon.
Third down and 1. Bergueno, and he's caught in the backfield. He does not make the first down. He is brought down in the backfield by Tim Householder. What heck of a play by Tim Householder, the 6 foot, 173-pound senior. Coach Barnes has got to be very, very proud of his tenure here at the Los Alamitos High School. The last 4 years, his program has really gotten into gear, and his record in the last 4 years, 46 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie.
Now that is really impressive, and I think we're going to see a lot of John Whitney tonight. He's got a chance to have over a quarter that he'll be able to put in.
Ken Davis, the coach of the Schur Spartans, he's been with this team 17 years, and in 1980, as we heard in the opening interview, won the whole CIF shebang, and that punt is blocked. That punt is blocked by Chris Park, and it's brought down for a safety.
No,
Do they have it?
No.
No.
First down at the 1, Denny.
First down at the 1 for the Los Alamitos Griffins, and everything that could go wrong for the Schur Spartans tonight, Len, is exactly doing that. It's going wrong.
Well, Macias just seemed to take all day to get that punt away, and Chris Park came in, and we talked about him just a moment ago, and he made a clean block there. We're going to see that again, and let's watch how much time Macias takes. Here comes the center.
There you see Park. He virtually comes in uncontested, and boy, he knocks that ball.
You're absolutely right. Macias did really not take as long as I had thought, but Chris Park just came in with nobody blocking him, and the Griffins on the verge of scoring again, and John Whitney's in at quarterback.
John Whitney hands it off to Mike Deckard. I'd like to see the replay of that again, because Whitney did an awful lot of faking on that, and boy, he had me confused. And Deckard takes the ball, swings around to the right, and another touchdown as Los Alamitos. Let's take a look at that play again. Let's see if we can see how Whitney fakes it.
Yes, you're right. He faked the pass there, and as a result, really got hit by Frank Martinez. Handed the ball off to Deckard, who easily went into the end zone, virtually untouched, and we're about to have 45-0.
Chris Park getting ready for the extra point.
I think Chris Park is tired, Denny. He's had a lot.
No, you can't get tired when you're having such a good time. Chris Park gets the ball up. It is good. So with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter, Los Alamitos in a Donnybrook 45-0 over the Schur Spartans.
It's a Donnybrook for one team, maybe, but
that's true.
But not both.
Schur Spartans, they are the Century League champions, and they are they really got their hands full in Los Alamitos, which has been known for their defense. Right now, they're coasting for another shutout.
That's right. They've had, I think, 5 shutouts this year. And looks like they're heading very possibly for number 6, although certainly that's not going to be Coach Barnes' biggest interest at this point. He just wants to keep his players healthy. He wants to keep them sharp, and he doesn't want any more injuries, having already lost Winnie Wolf. And as you see Winnie on the sidelines, I'll tell you, Griffins have to be worried about next week.
Park kicks the ball. It's a squib. It is taken by Marco Puebla. And Puebla takes the ball and he runs straight ahead, and he's brought down by Thomas Sohn. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Schur Spartans. And the ball is being spotted on the 43-yard line.
Good job there by Puebla to take that hard, low kick, catch it cleanly, and make a decent run back so that Schur has good field position up near the 43-yard line.
There's timeout on the field at this point. Is this this timeout Los Alamitos? Is that correct, Len?
Yes, it is. I'm wondering if they have too many men on the field.
Coach Van Gorder now going out, talking to his, going to be talking to his defensive unit.
Griffins maybe just weren't ready there, but in any event, this is one of those timeouts that isn't going to hurt you in a game like this, where you've got a route.
The Schur Spartans have a fine football tradition, as we were talking about their coach being with the with Schur. Ken Dave's been with Schur for 17 years. This year they were 4-1 in league and 9-2 overall, and they were in a very hard football league. The likes of Burbank, Burroughs, Hart, Alhambra, and San Gabriel. But like you said, Len, you kind of likened it to a horse race, and maybe they were stepping up in class as a result of the realignment. And Los Alamitos, at this point, is just a little bit too much horse for them. We're gonna. There's Winston Wolf, and as you.
Oh, Winnie says he's going to be back next week, and Winnie, we hope so. We really hope so. We don't want to see a great athlete by Winnie Wolf, regardless of what team you're rooting for here tonight. Winnie Wolf is a great senior athlete, got a lot of heart, and even the team that the Griffins play will probably want to see him back.
Defensive back of the year, and Chris Park, as we get back to live action, Chris Park puts a hit on Macias for another sack, and it's all going bad for the Spartans. That's the 3rd sack by Chris Park. Let's take a look at that again.
Macias dropping back there for the pass, slips a little bit, and here's Chris Park for about the 11th time, it seems like.
But the way Chris Park plays off his block, he actually is totally dominating the man who's in front of him, and you had a very good look at that on that replay. Thank you, Mark Ewing. Macias back to pass. The pass was intended for Martinez, and it was broken up by Mike McEntee. And thank you, Ted Van Ellen, who was actually responsible for that replay.
And our producer tonight. That is the 5th sack. That last play was the 5th sack on Macias. He lost 30 yards so far in this game on sacks alone, Dan.
I'm Denny Siegel, along with Len Venger, Louis Guzman, who is our spotter. Our statisticians are Brian Henderson, Jeff Pollard, Sal Avina, and we're very happy up here in the booth to be bringing this football game to you. It's the Orange County Game of the Week. 3rd down, 16 yards to go. Ball on the 37-yard line, and there's 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Macias back to pass. Ball is overthrown. Defending on the play is Mike McEntee, and that ball was intended for Jesse Ramirez.
And Ramirez really had no chance there. McEntee, perfect coverage on Ramirez, and you see him going back in the huddle. This is a team that the Schur Spartans, who are really, I'm sure, disappointed at what's happening here tonight. I know they thought that they had a chance against Los Alamitos and have to really be crushed at this kind of a situation.
Since the injury has happened to Winnie Wolf, who's normally the punt returner, they have back on the 26-yard line, number 19, John Graham, taking his place. Macias kicks the ball. Graham lets the ball go, gets away from the ball, and it is touched down on the 23-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Los Alamitos Griffins deep in their own territory.
Actually a smart play there by Graham to let that ball go. It looked like it was taking a difficult bounce there, and he's really just not used to this. And it's a little chilly out there. He hasn't done this all year long, so a smart play to let it go.
And in at quarterback for the Griffins, John Whitney, who is the 6'1", 108-pound senior, going to be leading the Los Alamitos Griffins in this series. 5 minutes left in this third quarter. And that was a 38-yard punt by Macias. Whitney hands off. And a short gain for the Griffins. That was Laquan Becton, I believe, who had the ball then.
That play actually didn't work because of some good penetration there by the safety man, Frank Martinez, who was on a blitz there, got in real quick, made penetration, and that handoff barely made. Threw off the timing, and the play made only 1 yard.
Second down, 9 yards to go, and the Griffins are now starting to put in some of the reserves. You have, as we said, Whitney in at quarterback. The handoff is to the first man through. We got to pick up some of these numbers. The tackle was by Mike Garcia, and the runner was Thomas Sohn of the Griffins.
Thomas Sohn, another one of those seniors who is down to his last game or two for the Griffins, and it's got to be a big thrill for Tom to get in here, and he's at the tailback spot in the I formation right now.
Ron Davis in at the slot, and the ball is handed off to Laquan Becton, and Becton drives his way through for a 3-yard gain. And there you see Laquan Becton. Laquan is 5'8", 190 sophomore, and we look for great things from Becton as the years go by. He will probably be seeing an awful lot of action come next year, and not to mention the senior year. And he comes from a very fine football family. Last year, his brother, Frank Becton, was one of the stars of this football team.
Looks like there was a penalty on that last play, and the ball is going to be moved back against the Griffins. 5 yards for motion.
Now we're going to try to call off some of these players who are in the game right now. Number 79, Doug Husted, is on the offensive line. Chris Grimes is in at wide receiver.
And another wide receiver in there, number 80, Cameron Orang, also in for the Griffins.
Now they're marching off the yardage against the Griffins.
Well, I think what happened there, Denny, is they marched off 5 after looking at the gain. They realized that they hadn't marked off enough, and now actually marked off a true 5 yards for that motion penalty.
Whitney hands off to the second man through, which I believe is Laquan Becton, and he was just stacked up for a loss. And the Los Alamitos punting team now comes on the field.
The Griffin reserves not doing too well there on that first series, but they just haven't had a lot of chances to play. And Dennis, would you believe this is the first punt tonight for the Los Alamitos Griffins with under 3 minutes left in the third quarter?
And Eric Thompson was standing on his own goal line as he punted the ball away. And the ball goes out of bounds around the 43-yard line. No, where are they putting it, Len? Looks like it's going to be on the 35-yard line of the Griffins. So
it's only a 20-yard punt?
It's only a 20-yard punt, and the Schur Spartans have outstanding field position. So with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in this third quarter, the Schur Spartans will take over. First down and 10 on the 35-yard line. Macias still in at quarterback. Macias hands off to Bergueno. Bergueno busts a tackle, gets into the secondary of Los Alamitos, and he goes for an 8-yard gain brought down by John Graham and Brian Havens.
Dennis, Brian Henderson, one of our statisticians, just told me, and he's certainly right, we've got an injury on the field there, that Los Alamitos has scored on every possession in the football game until that last one when they had to punt. We're going to see that play again, see if we can spot the injury to Bob Farrell there. I believe that's Farrell number 11. There's the handoff. There's the running back coming through. Farrell. I don't see Farrell. Looks like he was away from the ball there, but he's up and he looks like he's fine.
He looks very springy. Good news for the Los Alamitos Griffin fans. Bob Farrell coming off the field on his own power, and he's bouncing. This is the first time Schur has been in Los Alamitos territory since the opening drive. Boy, that really shows the total domination of the Griffins in this second round of the Division III CIF playoffs. That's Burgueno sweeping out to the left. Burgueno seeing nothing but daylight. Burgueno, touchdown for the Schur Spartans.
Good job there by Cesar Burgueno as he went out to the left and then made that play because he cut back into the center of the field with the pursuit going the other way. He countered the pursuit, a 27-yard run for a touchdown, and the Schur Spartans finally have something to cheer about.
So with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the third quarter, the Spartans finally put some points up on the board. Los Alamitos playing with a lot of reserves. The Spartans having an opportunity of getting their offense in gear. Burgueno doing an awful lot of running and finally brings it in for the touchdown. The extra point is up. It is no good as the woes of the Spartans continue. So with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in this third quarter, Los Alamitos 45, the Schur Spartans 6.
Burgueno has carried now 8 times for 53 yards in the game, averaging 6.5 yards, but that primarily because of this 27-yard run that we're about to take another look at. Macias has the ball there, about to take it. Pitch out there to Burgueno. Watch how he'll cut back here. He goes left, cuts back into a seam, and goes untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. That drive, 3 plays, 35 yards, taking 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Los Alamitos again now in their prevent or offside, onside kick return alignment. Schur is getting ready to kick the ball off. There you see Mike Deckert. He is the only deep man back for the Griffins.
Griffins again expecting an onside kick, and this time I wouldn't be surprised if they got one.
The Spartans are moving as if it to be. They're coming in. They're tightening up their alignment. This is a very unusual alignment.
It's not going 10,
That is
Denny.
not going 10 yards, so there's a flag on the play, and that flag undoubtedly will be denoting the fact that it did not go the compulsory 10 yards.
Well, that's one of the oddest formations for an onside kick I've ever seen. Schur setting up as if they were about to run a normal offensive play, but the ball clearly did not go 10 yards. And the Griffins, I believe, might have the option of taking the ball. Let's see. There was a penalty marker, though. Referee's talking there. Let's see what the call is.
So
Bob Farrell being given the option, Dan. They're picking up the flag.
As we heard on the field, the referee was talking to Bob Farrell.
His first touch is it's an infraction, not a penalty.
Well, as we heard right from the referee's mouth exactly what that was, that's an infraction, that's not a penalty. It was Los Alamitos' option. They decide to take the ball, so it'll be first down and 10 on the 44-yard line. Whitney has the ball, and he's absolutely smothered.
Whitney there. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Whitney got the ball, looked like to 1 minute. To me, like wanted to hand off to somebody else. I think Deckert, who wasn't there. It is possible also that was going to be a pass play to Deckert. I'm not quite sure, but there looked like some confusion. And now look, Dan.
Greg Sorensen, number 8, the 6'2", 185-pound junior, is now in at quarterback, replacing John Whitney. So Coach Barnes giving a whole slew of Griffins a chance to play, and he hands off to Steve Silversmith, and he is tackled basically at the line of scrimmage.
Steve Silversmith now having a chance to get into the ball game. He's a fullback, 5'8", 165-pound senior, and once again, Coach Barnes tries to get seniors in who haven't had a whole lot of playing time this year.
as the clock continues to run, we're in the closing moments of the third quarter. Los Alamitos leading 45-6.
The Griffins here have accomplished certainly the most important thing in getting a win. Of course, they're not going to get a shutout tonight with the Schur Spartans coming up with that 6-point touchdown. But the Griffins really not too worried about that. They've got their win, and now they're really just worried about letting the time go off the clock, playing reserves, and not having any injuries. That's really probably the big key as we come down here toward the end of the third quarter.
Los Alamitos has at left tackle Doug Houston. At left guard, Paul Underwood. That was on the preceding play. Los Alamitos now in punt formation. Eric Thompson is standing his own 45-yard line, but the Griffins now are going back to the huddle, and there is time on the field. Timeout on the field. What's going on, Len?
David Hernandez, number 80, Den, was a little bit hurt on that play, as he was earlier in the game, and he's limping off the field again, accompanied there by a referee. Looks like he's got either an ankle or a knee there, but he's coming off under his own power.
Well, the clock continues to run, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get this play off before the end of the third quarter, and they're not. So Los Alamitos 45, the Spartans of Schur 6, and Los Alamitos continues to dominate as we end the third quarter and about ready to start the fourth quarter. And let's go on the field to our own yard ground.
Thank you, Len. With me a couple of ladies that are from the mock trial here at Los Alamitos. One is Jennifer Vineyard, and the other one is Allie Taylor. Just tell us a bit about the trial.
Well, basically, there are about 52 schools in Orange County that compete in the first 3 rounds of competition. And then after that, the top 16 teams are chosen by elimination. This year, luckily, we were one of the top 16. And so next Tuesday, we'll compete with other schools in elimination finals until there's only one school in Orange County left, and hopefully this year will be us.
What do you do in mock trial? Give us a little idea what you do.
Okay, the job of the prosecution is to prove to the judge that there is beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. On the other hand, the defense team has to prove to the judge that there is still a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty.
Okay, well, good luck to both of you. Again, Jennifer Vineyard and Allie Talavera. Back up to you, Denny and Len.
Well, thank you, JR, and those are two very articulate young ladies. And Len, you being a lawyer, what's your opinion of all of that?
Well, they look like two young, fine future lawyers, and when they're ready to start coming to those law firms, they ought to come to mind. Articulate young women.
We're about ready to start. Eric Thompson kicks the ball. It is a high kick, a fair catch by Martinez on his own 9-yard line. So the Schur Spartans take over deep in their own territory. This is the Orange County Game of the Week. Los Alamitos 45, Schur 6.
That was a 31-yard punt by Eric Thompson, who ought to get an Oscar for his performance there at the end of that kick when he was barely grazed by one of the Schur Spartans, and then Eric went flying to the ground looking for the flag, which of course he did not get. The referee was watching carefully. And Eric, in addition to playing great football, you ought to be nominated for an Oscar on that performance.
Well, maybe he was trying to get his due, because last week, Len, if you recall, he was injured on that same kind of a similar play. Macias pitches out to Bergueno. Bergueno busts through for a 6-yard gain, so it'll be second down and 4 yards to go for the Schur Spartans, and that tackle was made by John Graham of the Griffins.
As of now, Schur has about 109, 110 yards on offense in this game against 279 for Los Al. And while that is certainly a lot more by Los Al over Schur, the fact is, I'm not sure if you looked at just those stats, maybe you'd be surprised that the score of this football game is 45-6.
In for Los Alamitos is Jeff Blank. Herzig is in there, and Macias is back to pass. It is complete to Hernandez. Hernandez fumbles the ball. Jeff Blank dives for it, but Hernandez still has the ball. No, excuse me. It is recovered by the Los Alamitos Griffins.
Well, the referee there couldn't seem to make up his mind as to who got it, but he finally did. He gave it to the Griffins. That is the third turnover there by Schur in this football game, and that time Hernandez fumbled it on his own. I mean, there's just no reason for that.
Jeff Blank wound up making the recovery. So Los Alamitos takes over. Let's take a look at that again, because that was quite interesting how that ball dropped out of Hernandez's hands.
Well, we're going to see a missed tackle, and then Hernandez starts to run, and somehow the ball disappears.
That's Laquan. Oh, we're into the replay.
Here's Macias, makes the nice throw. There's the missed tackle. Hernandez running. He switched arms, and I think when he switched arms, he dropped the ball, although it may be that number 32, Jeff Herzig, reserve linebacker, might have just possibly hit the ball with his hand and knocked it out of Hernandez's hand. We really couldn't tell on that replay.
So with 10 minutes and 12 seconds left in this football game, second down, 7 yards to go, and here's Laquan Becton busting tackles, and he gets up to approximately the 25-yard line. He was tackled by Albert Arevalo.
Griffin's scoring in this game has really been balanced. They've had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the second quarter, 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, and I know the Schur Spartans hoping that that balance stops right here. Otherwise, the Griffins will probably almost score 60 points tonight.
Schur has also plays some of their players both ways, one being Bergueno, and that is Laquan Becton. Becton going for the first down, and he is inside the 15-yard line, brought down by Aaron Kovacs of the Spartans.
Good driving there by Laquan Becton as he was hit and just kept his feet moving all the way inside the 15-yard line down to the 13-yard line, and the Griffins with another first down.
Let's take a look at that fine run by Laquan Becton again.
There's the handoff right up the middle. Good hole. There he's hit, and look at him drive those legs for about an extra 3 or 4 yards.
We're back to live action, and that's Becton again, busting tackles. Becton is still on his feet. He gets all the way down to the 3-yard line. Oh, my.
2 great runs in a row by Laquan Becton. And I'll tell you, he fights for that yardage after being hit and almost made a first down there.
Coach Barnes, if you haven't noticed, he is only a sophomore. You're going to be having that young man back for 2 more years.
Coach Barnes not only thrilled with the performance of his team this year, and maybe even a little surprised by it, Dennis, but he knows he's got a lot of great athletes coming back next year and the year after.
That's Becton straight on through, and Becton gets close to the goal line. He will be short, probably around the 1-yard line, and the clock continues to run with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in this football game. Second down, goal, ball on the 1. Becton, and Becton is denied. The defense, the front 4 of the Spartans, was able to deny Laquan Becton. Caught him, actually hit him a little bit into his own backfield. He fell forward, but it'll now be 3rd down, and actually he might even lost a yard.
As a matter of fact, he did lose a yard, and it's 3rd down now and about 2.5 yards to go for the touchdown. And this is a chance for the Griffin reserves to really get in there and score a touchdown. They really want it here, and equally the Schur Spartans want to stop it.
That's a pitch to Becton, and Becton hits a stone wall, and again he is denied. Great play by the Spartans of Schur. Sean Rattray, number 27, he's the 5'8", 170-pound senior of the Spartan, denied him. Caught him right on the 1-yard line.
And Rattray hit him hard and wouldn't let go, and Becton just kept those feet moving, trying to get an angle so he could slip into the end zone, but could not do it.
Ron Davis, a wide receiver, coming in for the Griffins.
Griffins, of course, will go for the touchdown here on 4th down, and there's a good chance we'll see a passing play from Whitney, and that ought to be kind of fun to watch.
There's Becton, and Becton goes in for the score.
Straight handoff there from Whitney to Becton. The reserves actually very excited, Dan. They're coming off the field. They are very excited at having scored a touchdown here. You see Laquan Becton coming off, having gotten the touchdown, and shaking hands, high fives with a lot of the other Griffin players.
Well, this game, from the opening drive, which was an opening drive by Schur, has all been Griffins. Let's take a look at that touchdown run by Laquan Becton. He gets the ball, goes over the left side of the line. The left side of that line did the job and made the hole for Laquan Becton to slither in for the touchdown. We're trying for the extra point. Holding is Todd Grignano. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So Len, with 6 minutes and 52 seconds left in this game, 52-6 in favor of La Salle. Oh my.
Well, I think one of the most encouraging things I saw tonight was Winnie Wolf waving happily and saying he'd be back. I know I'm continuing to kind of dwell on that, but it is so important for the Griffins to have Winnie Wolf, the great senior defensive back and punt returner, in there as the Griffins reach the semifinals of the Division III playoffs.
December 2nd, next Friday, the Los Alamitos Griffins, I think I'm safe to say all this, Len, will be playing.
I think this time it's a lock, Denny.
Will be playing the winner of the Dominguez El Medina game. So keep an eye on your newspapers. I don't know where the game will be played. There'll be the cost of the toin on Sunday, and that'll be December 2nd. For that next play. That was an interesting kick, Len. It hit a Schur, one of the player's knee, and it went forward to Albert Solus, who fell on the ball. So with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in this football game, we'll be right back.
You were drinking out of my glass. Look out!
If I would have taken my turn tonight as the designated driver, the worst thing alcohol would have caused would have been 3 headaches.
Gentlemen, this is Orange County's Game of the Week, and as you can see, Mike Kim, the offensive guard of the Schur Spartans, has been helped off the field. He was injured, so now it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the Spartans. Macias still in at quarterback. Macias back to pass, wide open is Jesse Ramirez. So there's penalty flags all over the place. Was that unsportsmanlike conduct, Lynn?
I think that's exactly what you're going to see. It's a personal foul. That's right, Dan. Personal foul against Schur. Now, I don't know. Was that number 45 who committed that foul? I'm not sure, but it's going to cost Schur 15 yards here, and that really hurts them as they try to get one more score in this football game.
Well, this is at this stage of the game, a very frustrated team. Here they came in as league champions, and they expected to fare far better than they have, and I'm sure that's just a little frustration that they have vented as we only have 5 minutes and 46 seconds left in this football game.
I think that's exactly right. They came into the game pretty confident, and I think the last thing they expected was a 52-6 shellacking at the hands of the Los Alamitos Griffins.
I think they knew that they had their hands full with La Salle, as La Salle knew they would have their hands full with the Spartans. But like you say, no one expected such a one-sided football game as we're seeing tonight.
You know, Danny, I was going to say, number 80, David Hernandez, is still in, and I see him limping. Obviously, this team does not have a lot of depth. Screen pass.
Screen pass to Martinez. Martinez wide open, and he gets close to the original line of scrimmage. That was a 2nd and 25 for the Spartans. That was an outstanding call. They made probably 14 yards on the play, and it was tackled by Jeff Herzig.
Now, one of the interesting things here, earlier in the game, we could hear the Griffins talking on the bench, and they've been waiting for this screen pass just about all game long, and it was very effective here, but way, way too late with under 5 minutes left in the football game. And it is a play that could have been successful if run earlier.
Sure, you think that they would have deployed it in as much as that they were being had so much traffic in their own backfield by the defense of La Salle. That is a complete pass to Ramirez, and Ramirez goes all the way to the 27-yard line, tackled by Kit McCullough of the Griffins.
Nice job there by Macias. You know, Macias has thrown 12 times in this game, completed 10 for 112 yards. So the Schur Spartans, who are not known for their passing game, actually have done a pretty good job in the air tonight, and Jay Macias has shown us a good arm.
Well, the Griffins have basically shut down the running game of Bergueno, who is between Bergueno, Rattray, and Martinez. They had 2,100 yards between them, so they were a very strong force running, and the Griffins seemed to totally throttle that part of the game plan for the Spartans.
And really forced him into the air, just like that. A pass by Macias to Hernandez, pass way wide, and really no chance for Hernandez to get it. And Hernandez still limping and just probably not having the speed that he probably had before the game.
4 minutes and 4 seconds left in this football game. Second down, 10 yards to go, and Los Alamitos bringing in many of the reserve players, giving them a chance, giving them some playoff experience.
And Jay Macias, who you saw there featured a moment ago, is only a sophomore, Dan, so he's going to be back for this team for 2 more years. And I think that the Schur Spartans have a lot to look forward to.
He is definitely a raw talent, and he's played an outstanding football game. And he is the punter as well as the quarterback. Macias still has the ball, and he is showing some outstanding speed. He's finally brought down by John Graham. But there's penalties all over the field.
Those penalties came into that play very, very late. A great run there by Jay Macias, showing a lot of speed. And he got all the way down to about, what, the 10-yard line, but it's going to be called back by a clip, I believe.
Okay, wait a minute. We got the same thing. We got a first down again, right?
Number 1, baby, going semifinal.
All right, here we go. From the flag. Your flag, right there. Right. 15.
Well, we have the good fortune of being right in on the field.
Offense. Second down.
Is there any doubt what is going on, Lynn?
That is terrific. Great technical work by our Comcast crew here, and you can hear the referees on the field.
So that outstanding game was somewhat nullified. Macias still has the ball. He throws it up. It's complete to Hernandez. Hernandez makes a fine catch, and he is pinwheeled into the ground by the Griffins. And Hernandez, again, getting up gimpy. This man has a lot of heart. David Hernandez, a 5'10", 155-pound junior. This coach of Schur, was it Kenny Davis, has an awful lot to look forward to next year. They're going to be a powerhouse, Lynn.
He's got some good athletes coming back, and little by little he's going to get used to Division III play. And you see Coach Barnes.
Coach Barnes throwing his dimples.
Laughing, enjoying this one at this point, but knowing he's got a very tough game coming up next week.
Macias finds Solomon, and that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown for the Spartans. And it went to Jose Solomon, who is the tight end, 5'10", 175-pound senior.
And the Schur Spartans getting a chance for a little bit more to cheer about here at the end of the football game, getting another touchdown. And about the only thing that's going to do is affect those defensive stats of the Los Alamitos defense. They won't look quite as good as they otherwise might have.
So let's take a look at that touchdown pass again from Macias to Solomon.
2-point conversion. There's Solomon making the play, hitting hard, going into the end zone for the touchdown, and back to live action. There's a 2-point conversion going on.
Macias still has the ball. Pass it. It is complete. It is for the 2 points. The 2-point conversion is good. So with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in this football game, Los Alamitos 52, the Schur Spartans 14.
And that has to make the Schur Spartans feel a whole lot better here as they do get a score towards the end of the football game. And I think we're going to see another onside kick again. And the Griffins, of course, will have a lot of men up on the line of scrimmage. And you see a lot of Griffins very happy here.
This is the Orange County Game of the Week. I'm Denny Siegel, along with Len Venger, J.R. Graham, and Willie Padilla. Louis Guzman is the spotter. The statisticians, Brian Henderson, Jeff Pollard, Sal Avina, having a good time bringing this game to you. That last touchdown drive was 9 plays for 59 yards, and the Spartans took 3 minutes and 54 seconds to score the touchdown.
Let's see if the Schur Spartans try that strange onside kick again as they did last time when they had all the players up in a down position. But the ball didn't go 10 yards last time. Let's see what happens here.
They still seem to be fanned out. I don't know if they're going to deploy the same kind of a formation. They do not, but they try the onside kick, and who falls on it is David Hobb. It went the allotted amount of yardage, and Dave Hobb wisely falls down on the football, so it'll be first down and 10, Los Al.
Griffins having a lot of backs up there to get the ball, sure-handed people, and there's David Hobb, one of those sure-handed people who caught the ball and held on. David Hobb, a senior, enjoying one of his last games as a Griffin.
Greg Sorensen in at quarterback for the Griffins. And the Griffins have first and 10. Ball on the Los Alamitos running straight ahead. The clock continues to run with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in this football game.
And Denny, tonight's Orange County Game of the Week has been brought to you by the Los Alamitos High School Football Boosters, providing outstanding support and assistance to the Los Al Griffins. This coverage of Orange County's Game of the Week is a Comcast cable production. Any duplication or rebroadcast of this program without the expressed or written permission of Comcast Productions and CIF is prohibited. The producer of Game of the Week is Ted Van Allen. The director of tonight's game is Mark Ewing.
Thank you, fellas. And a special thanks to Vance Caesar, the president of the Los Alamitos Boosters, who have been kind enough to bring this game to you tonight. There's timeout on the field. With 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the football game, it's 52-14.
Zach Young in for the Griffins.
There's Todd Gregnano, as you can see, and that's a very happy quarterback for the Griffins.
Dan Guyen, number 21, is in. As I said, number 31, Zach Young. Greg Sorensen is into the game right now. Number 6, Ron Davis is in. Want to give a chance to call out some of the names of these Griffins who have supported the team all year long in a reserve capacity, but they've really had a chance to get some play in tonight.
We'd like to call out the name of number 68, but our program is incomplete. Whoever you are, how are you? Sorensen at quarterback. And he hands off to Silversmith. Silversmith drives through, and he goes straight ahead for a nice gain. The tackle was by Sean Rattray. And the clock continues. No, there is a timeout on the field with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this football game.
The Schur Spartans calling timeouts here. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess they want to get the ball back one more time and try for one more score. That shows a lot of guts, although I'm sure Coach Barnes would prefer that the clock just run out here so that there's no chance of any more injuries, as there was earlier to Winnie Wolf, who you see there on your picture.
There's 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this football game, 52-14 Los Al, as we are just winding down the last moments, as Los Alamitos will travel to round 3 of the CIF Division III playoffs.
Another senior, Cameron Orang, number 80, in, 6'1", 162 pounds, also in on this play for the Griffins.
Silversmith, the down back, the fullback. There's motion on the field, and there's flags all over the place. Len, were they drawn offside?
No, that's going to cost the Griffins 5, no question about it. Illegal procedure there by the Griffins.
See, it's kind of nice that number 68, we don't know his name because he was the one that was offside. So now it's third down, 6 yards to go, and it's a minute, and is that a 5? A minute 45 or a minute 40? There's a couple of lights out. That's a minute 45, I am told by Mark Ewing, left in this football game.
It's been a long season here at Hanford Rand Stadiums, and they need to change a few light bulbs here as we head towards the CIF finals.
That was Silversmith straight ahead, and the clock now continues to run, and there's the clock has been stopped again and again. The Spartans of Schur have called timeout with 1:31 left, as you can see on your screen.
And here comes the Griffin punting unit into the game, so the Schur Spartans will get this ball one more time. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big rush here on this punt to try and block it and get good field position.
The coaches are on the field trying to figure out. Eric Thompson is the punter, standing on his own 36-yard line. And there is Frank Martinez.
10 men on the line of scrimmage, and they could be coming. Here they come.
That's blocked. It's blocked. It is blocked. Blocked by number 50, Bernard Velacek. Velacek blocked that football. So the Spartans come up with an outstanding defensive play, and they take over in Los Alamitos territory with 1:22 left in this football game.
Exactly what the Schur Spartans wanted. They had 10 men coming there, and you could see it happening. Eric Thompson unable to get the ball off, and the Schur Spartans with one last gasp, one chance for some more points to try to make the score a little bit more respectable.
Macias is back to pass. It is complete to Carlos Plantillas. Carlos Plantillas makes the reception. And again, is there timeout on the field? They're moving the chains.
I think the clock is only stopped because of the chains. I believe that Schur has already used all of their timeouts. So they should get up to the line of scrimmage pretty quickly. And yes, the clock is running with only 50 seconds left in the football game.
Macias again back to pass. Complete to Ramirez. And Ramirez is knocked down. Is he still in bounds, Len?
No, he got out of bounds and stopped the clock with about 36 seconds left. Although I'll tell you, he didn't look like he really wanted to go out of bounds there. But the Griffins, in fact, knocked him out of bounds.
Scooter Dodd in for the Griffins. Coming out, Kit McCullough.
And Russ Beringer also came out.
Hernandez split wide to the left, Ramirez to the right. Macias is back to pass.
He wants to go deep, Dan.
He's got Hernandez open. Outstanding catch, touchdown for the Schur Spartans. What an outstanding catch by Hernandez. Here's a man who has been hurt the last half of this football game, and he's coming up with these stellar plays.
Absolutely right, Denny. A great throw by Macias on a big out there by Hernandez. You knew that Macias, by that deep drop, wanted to go long, and David Hernandez, a great athlete, did a sensational job there of catching that ball. We're going to have a chance to see that one again. This is a play that you're really going to enjoy seeing if you're a Schur Spartan fan. And actually, if you're a football fan at all, you're going to enjoy the play. They're setting up for a two-point conversion, so we may have a little delay before we see the replay. We're first going to watch this two-point attempt.
Macias has the ball back to pass. Macias looks like he's going to run it. Macias gets close to it. He gets in for the two-point conversion. So the Spartans now have 22 points. This is just kind of a face-saving situation, but they look very good, finally putting their game together. A little bit too late, but they now have 22 points with 31 seconds left.
I hope we have. Yes, we are going to have a chance now to see that touchdown pass from Macias to Hernandez. Watch how deep his drop is, because you know he's going to go deep there. He's got the time. Big long throw. And a diving catch by Hernandez in the end zone. He holds on for the touchdown, shaken up again, but hangs on.
And that combination of Macias and Hernandez will be back next year, and the coach, Mr. Davis, has got to be very, very happy about that.
With number 10, Frank Martinez, who will be back in that backfield next year. So you're right, the coach really looking forward to hopefully having a good team. And Denny, they have made it respectable. I know it sounds silly, but 52-22 is a lot different score than 52-6. It looks a lot more respectable, and you're kind of glad to see that for the Schur Spartans.
Macias, an onside kick that is not going to go the 10 yards. As a matter of fact, that ball only went 1 yard because it kind of trailed back as it went out of bounds on the 41-yard line. So Los Alamitos will have their option, and I'm sure they will take the football on the 41-yard line of the Spartans. As we had that same kind of a play that happened previously, that's not a penalty, that's an infraction.
And the infraction is declined, which means the Griffins are going to get the ball on the 41-yard line of Schur. One more play, I think, possibly, yes, just one more play left in this game. And the Griffins will have won this football game 52-22, and they will go into the CIF semifinals.
Some of the players who are in right now, their names are not on the program, are apologized. We apologize to them. Wish we could call out their names, but the Los Alamitos team is trying to deploy as many players, or employ as many players as they possibly can. Ron Davis is in the slot. Sorensen kneels down, stopping the play. The clock continues to run. We're at 20 seconds left in this football game.
That clearly was the last play of the game, Dan. Los Al is not going to run another play.
And you're exactly right, Len. The Griffins have no intention at this stage of the game to break that huddle as you're down to 3, 2, 1 second left. The final score of the second round of this CIF playoff Division III, Los Alamitos 52, the Schur Spartans 22, and a most convincing win by the Griffins.
Well, it sure was, and the Griffins really showing power and strength and quickness, and showed their class tonight in this 30-point victory, which actually was not as close as the score made it seem at the end of the football game. The Griffins giving up 2 very late touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, so that Schur at least was able to make it look fairly respectable.
And this was an altogether different Los Alamitos team who got a scare last week against Foothill, and it was a defensive struggle last week. Los Alamitos winning 6-3 and basically sputtered the whole game, and now they come out and absolutely dominate this game as they win 52-22. Let's take a few moments for a PSA, a public service announcement, and we'll be right back.
Clint Eastwood